All right, so today we're going to talk about the big stick, how to hit drivers, and how to maybe gain some distance out there, and what improper setup might do and affect how much we actually can be able to hit the ball. A lot of times in the teaching team, what I see is most often with the driver is an improper setup. And the costs for that, we're going to kind of prove to you today using SkyTrack. It's going to cost you a lot of swing speed, ball speed, and then therefore distance. So the first thing that I see is that this ball of their driver a little bit too far back in our stance. So I know SkyTrack's kind of in the way here, but Sarah to put this ball more towards the middle of my stance. Now what that's going to force me to do, it's going to force me to kind of hit this on the downswing. It's very tough for me to get my shoulders facing up towards the sky and get that proper setup when that ball's too far back. When I have this ball in the middle, I have to hit down on it, and what you'll see from the numbers is that ball kind of just dives down. Doesn't go very far, 152 yards, and my swing speed's only 98 miles an hour. All right, so one of the biggest things that I can do in my setup to really make sure I can generate some more swing speed and generate a little bit more, controlled width in my swing to therefore hit the ball a lot further is in my setup. So in my setup, I want my lead arm to kind of extend straight through the shaft into the golf ball with this ball forward in my stance. We already saw the effects of what happens when the ball is too far back in my stance. This one I want nice and forward, up off the insole of my lead foot. Now with my dominant hand, I'm gonna reach underneath to get this angle of my shoulders upwards, which is gonna be able to make myself launch the ball high. Now just in doing that little minor change, let's see what happens to the swing speed. So let's see here. So remember the first one was only about 150 yards. Just that one little change, I got plenty more distance and my club speed went up about 7 miles an hour. Now, that still can be overdone, and that's not necessarily a one-size-fits-all fix. Because a lot of times, what I'll see is when somebody does have the right ball position but can't quite get the ball off the ground, what they're doing is they're trying to meet the ball forward. They're trying to get all the way and get their head back up to the golf ball. With the driver, that's not necessarily what we want. We want our head in the middle of our body. I want to feel like I'm turning behind this golf ball. If you've seen any of Phil Mickelson's videos lately, he's talking about jumping off of his lead foot, feeling like he's turning behind it. When he really goes ahead and rips one, you look at guys like Justin Thomas too, they'll actually kind of spin out. Look at Bryson DeChambeau, who just won the US Open. Obviously he's got a unique swing, but look where his front foot is after impact. He's completely turned sideways. He's completely rotated back behind the golf ball. That's what allowed him to be one of the longest drivers on tour this year. Actually, the longest driver on tour this year. All right, so let's see if we can put everything together here, staying behind the golf ball, and see how much more swing speed we can generate. Again, lead arm moving into the shaft relatively straight, ball off the insole of our lead foot, dominant hand moves underneath to create this angle with my shoulders, which will allow me to hit the ball in the upswing and launch it high. Now we're going to stay behind it and see how far we can hit it. Not too bad, 102 on the club head speed. One before it was a little bit better, but you notice also is how straight that golf ball is. All those shots that have hit working properly are balls that are going to end up in the fairway. What I see for those slicers out there, those people not turning, just kind of hitting it with their arms, that's where we create a lot of this spin, and the ball goes left and right. We'll give it one more shot here. Again, won't say it again. Got the proper setup. See if we can stay behind it. Hit our longest and straightest one yet. All right, if you do all those tips, You'll be hitting longer, straighter drives in no time. You'll be finding the fairway and hitting shorter clubs that you've never hit before. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. We'll see you all next week.